Hello you guys, it is Ivy and welcome to my channel. So today I have a video for you guys. It is a personal story, but I'm also going to be sharing some tips and this is going to be all about how I found a new passion, my life's purpose during quarantine, and some tips on how you can possibly, maybe, probably find yours. So if you guys want to check it out, please go ahead and stay tuned. Before we do that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, you guys, and turn on the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. I'm trying to post twice a week on this channel now, so we will see how that goes. This is a new channel. Let's go ahead and get started with my personal story of how I found my new purpose or my new passion. And some tips that I have looked on the internet and just from personal experience. Again, I am not a doctor, I'm not a physician, so please consult your physician if you're going to do anything like that. This is just my personal experience and just things that I researched. So let's go ahead and get started. My story with this whole quarantine thing, it starts like so many other big moving stories. And that's when you hit rock bottom. This whole quarantine thing that went on, it honestly, while it affected so many of us, it didn't really take a huge toll on me until it affected my workplace. So we were sent home when a person got infected, and then we found out that another person got infected, and then they kind of just basically took everybody that was in close contact with that person off the schedule. So after that, I was taken off the schedule because I was exposed to somebody that had it. That being said, I still was not 100% sure if I had it or not, because it had been about a week or so since I was in close contact with that other person that had caught it. So I wasn't sure if I had it or not. Still, I did self-quarantine myself for a few days until my mom came down and she told me that she had it. So after she had it and she tested positive for it, my mom is 65 years old, by the way, when I knew that I knew that I needed to get tested. And at the same time, I was already starting to have symptoms. I was starting to cough. I was starting to have a runny nose. And when I told my boss about it and asked her questions, she was like, it's probably just allergies, because she knows that I had that problem. I do have a huge problem with allergies. By the way, allergies is a normal thing for me. So I kind of just tried being I tried to remain optimistic and was like, okay, maybe it's just allergies, but I did make an appointment to get tested. Anyways, so the first time that I got tested, I didn't get my results back. My coworker who I went with, we went together, also got tested, and she got her results back 10 days later, when you were supposed to get the results they told us between 2 to 5 days, and she didn't get the results back till 10 days later. I understand that they were swamped, but I literally did not get my results at all the very first time that I got tested. So because of this, I stayed off of work just because my mom had then tested positive after that, and then I had to go get retested to make sure, because it had been almost 2 weeks and I still had heard nothing. And I went ahead and got retested, and at that time is when I had a fever. So then I tested positive, and then we found out that pretty much everybody had it in the house. So my parents, being over the age of 65 plus, they were getting worse and worse, and I was taking care of myself, I was taking care of my kids who also had it, and then now I was taking care of my parents on top of that. And then my mom and dad both ended up having to go to the hospital. So it was a lot of stress for me, and not only that, but after that I began to have really bad anxiety. So the days consisted of crying spells and trying to occupy my brain with random nonsense. I would watch a lot of movies just because I honestly was just not in the mood to do anything productive. So among the watching movies and watching YouTube videos, I found a YouTuber that I watched that I clicked on her, I got curious, so I clicked on her website, and then I found out that this person was a life coach. So after I found that out, I actually signed up for her to coach me, and she incorporates a lot of like spiritual practices into her like life coaching. So before anything, like she'll like read my cards, and then she'll go into any like questions that I have, and then she'll go into like the whole life coaching thing. But after that very first session, it was literally just one session that I had with her, she cleared so much up for me, and without me even having to tell her much, like she was able to like see so many things within those cards, and I was just like mind blown. And that's when I took up this whole huge love, this whole huge passion for not only like all that spiritual stuff, but also taking up life coaching. And once I started to focus on that, like I literally, after that first session with her, I literally found a new passion. And I began learning about this stuff. And the more I found that the more I dove into it and the more I was learning about it, the more that I got out of this anxious bubble, and I literally transformed so quickly. Like my soul, my brain, everything changed so much. And I went from being like to becoming a much more positive person. And for once, it's like I literally felt like my soul was aligning with my destiny, because I was in such bliss, and I still can feel that bliss. If I'm feeling like this and I'm feeling so blissful, if I'm feeling so calm, it's because I know that my soul is on the right track with my destiny, and destiny and my soul, like they know each other. Like they're like, okay, you're going the right way. So that is how I found my life purpose, you guys. It was literally like having so much anxiety, so I was like, okay, let's try this life coaching thing. Gave it a try, and it's been amazing, and it's been so life-changing. That is my story on how I found my new passion and my life's purpose and my destiny. So some tips that I have for you guys. Number one would be to find a passion. So there's this saying in my life coaching training that the teacher said that everybody knows their passion. Some people are just afraid to speak it out loud or even in their minds. So if you have that passion, if you have that dream, know that it's there for a reason, and more than likely it is to be your destiny and your life purpose. I know how dreams can be so big, and this world makes it out to be like, if you're not following this strict guideline, and if you're not going to school, if you're not following that strict guideline that society wants you to go into, that it's considered kind of like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? When you want to follow like a more artistic route or more spiritual route, or something that is not what is considered ordinary. Not saying that if your dreams to be like a doctor or a lawyer is bad. Like if that's your destiny, then that's your destiny. Everybody was meant for something, you know? But if your dreams are more on the creative side, or more on the artistic side, more on the spiritual side, just know that your dreams are there for a reason. My first piece of personal advice, again, like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist. This is just my personal experience. So another piece of advice that I have for you guys is, if you can, again, this is if you can, get a life coach. Because honestly, once I started like talking to her, and once I started the coaching process, it's changed my life so much. It's changed my perspective, it's changed my mind. It's honestly, like, I've gained so much from it. I've gained so much from having a life coach. So if you guys can, I highly recommend that you get a life coach, because that is what they are there to do. They are there to help you manifest your goals, manifest your dreams, and manifest your destiny. So that would be another big recommendation that I would have for anyone that is trying to pursue their lifelong purpose and follow their journey. Another thing would be to surround yourself with positive people. If you're surrounding yourself with a lot of negativity, a lot of negative people, then obviously it's going to be hard for you to think positively. The thing about me, even though I was going through quarantine, it was kind of a good thing in a way because I was away from everyone else. It was literally me and my kids, and anybody that was negative or that would speak negative or would have a negative mindset was nowhere near me. So I had that freedom to think my own thoughts and just positivity came. If you guys don't know your passion, just explore your interests. Is there anything that you're interested in? Is there anything that you're particularly good at? And if there is something that you're not good at yet, but you are highly interested in it, check it out. Because even though you're not an expert now, could you learn? Because if you could learn the skill and it's something that makes you happy, and it's a skill that you can learn, why not go for it? Another thing is listen to feedback. You know, constructive criticism is a good thing. I'm not saying listen to the people that are bullying and being mean just to be mean. But if you have a friend, so let's say you have like a passion. Let's say you have, your passion was makeup, for example, and that is what your destiny is called to. That is what your life is called to. You're called to makeup. You're called to beauty. And you give somebody a makeover, you give your best friend a makeover, and they said, oh, like, it's very beautiful, it's a beautiful look, but I wish you would have made my lips darker. Don't take that as a negative thing, just take it as feedback. You know, just absorb everyone's feedback, both positive and both negative, because you can honestly in return grow from it and learn from it. So you know, if you did make a mistake or if you do lack in some sort of skill in the field, you can progress on it later on. And honestly, another thing that's honestly just my personal opinion is follow your heart. And I know that's something that's very common, that's very commonly said, but your heart and your soul knows what it wants. So if you're doing something and you're not feeling happy and you're not feeling blissful and you're not feeling at peace and you're not feeling joy, more than likely it's because that's not what you were meant to do. Your soul is not aligning with it. Your soul is not happy. You're not feeding your soul. But when you find something, a passion that really truly makes you happy deep down from the bottom of your heart, makes you want to move in a positive way and be a positive person, be a more positive person, then you know that your soul is finally aligning with your destiny. And when you feel that, you will know. You'll know that this is your life's journey. You will know that this is your life's purpose, and you will know that this is your destiny. But that is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell if you haven't yet. Again, my name is Ivy, also known as Intuitive Ivy M here now. Also, I am also on Instagram as Intuitive Ivy M, where I'm there daily doing daily cards, card of the days. So anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!